Phones down? Phones. Yeah. Phone down? Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Good evening, members of council, members of management. We do have a guest, Mr. Glenn Mullen, in our council chambers. Welcome, Glenn. Thank you. Today is the 4th of May, 2023. Another absolutely beautiful day in Stephenville, Newfoundland. Although we do need rain, let me tell you that. I happen to be at the forestry office today and seeing the indicator showing that it's a very high indicator about forest fires, and I do believe, I think there's one in the Conroy Valley that's ongoing. So I hope our department can get that under control. So I would ask a member of council that we move that we accept the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Laura Elder, second by Councilor Lenny Tiller. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We do have a couple of councilors not attending today. We have Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow that is actually traveling en route. I think she gets home late tonight. And we also have Councilor Tracy Rowland, who couldn't make it tonight. And at any point in time, we're hoping to have Councilor Tristan Hewlin to Zoom in. But we do have a quorum of council with 4, and we will continue to go forward in the conduct of business. So, item number 2 is the approval of minutes. These minutes were circulated by our town clerk, 2 council members. I would ask a member of council to move that we adopt the previous minutes that were April the 20th, 2023 as circulated.
I saw them.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconded.
Second.
Second, Councilor Lenny Taylor, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Were there any matters arising from those minutes?
Not that I know.
No.
No. Okay, proclamations and delegations, we do have one. I'll go ahead and read this now. So today marks the May 5th as its National Day of Awareness of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. A very important proclamation. So it's the National Day of Awareness of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, Two-Spirit, MMI WGS2. Whereas the Newfoundland Aboriginal Women's Network is based on a vision that the people of our province will live in safe, caring communities where there's an inherent respect for each other and violence of any sort is unacceptable. Whereas violence against women and violence against sisters, daughters, mothers, grandmothers, granddaughters, girlfriends, wives, and partners. And whereas violence against women devastates those who love and support women as well as relationships, families, communities, neighborhoods, workplaces, schools, villages, cities, and towns the world over. Whereas the National Day of Awareness of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, Two-Spirit, and Gender Diverse, which provides an opportunity for individuals, community organizations, and governments to work together in solidarity and draw upon the period of heightened attention to gain support for their local efforts to eliminate violence against women. Whereas the town of Stephenville stands in solidarity with organizations worldwide who desire change for a better, more equal, and more just world for women, and whereas it is only through raising awareness and changing attitudes that violence against Indigenous women can be stopped and prevented. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Stephenville does hereby proclaim May 5th as the National Day of Awareness of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls in the Stephenville Bay St. George region. Go ahead and sign this. Sale. Okay, item number 5, committee reports. I'm going to turn it over to our trusted Chair of Finance, Councilor Myra White, Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Tom. Our committee report For the Finance Committee, 5.1, the Finance Committee met on May the 1st, 2023, and the following items were recommended for council approval. The expense checks, requesting approval to pay expense check listing for April totaling $269,816.14. I so.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Elder, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 2, a request to advertise Harmon's Seaside Links. Requesting approval to decline providing a corporate advertisement with Harmon's Seaside Links. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second. Second, Councilor Lenny Tiller, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 3, approval to sign a MOU, Stephenville Fire Department and the NSP Maritime Link Inc. Bottom Brook site, which is a mirror. I so move. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta finish reading.
Yeah.
Requesting approval to authorize the mayor or town clerk to enter into a memorandum of understanding agreement with Nova Scotia Power, NSP Maritime Link Inc. for the Stephenville Fire Department to provide rescue service to the Bottom Brook Converter Station of NSP Maritime Link. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder. Second, Councilor Lenny Tiller, question? I would just like to just mention that there's been some good work done by our Captain Don Gibbon of our fire department on this file. As we do know, Bottom Brook is in adjacency to our the closest full-time fire department in the region. And there's been some really good work done by our CAO coordinating this MOU with our fire chief and the work that Captain Gibbon has done. But what this does, it creates opportunity for some revenue source to buy specialized equipment that reinforces the ability of our fire department to raise the bar when it comes to professionalism. This is more cited towards confined space. And Emira, obviously having Bottom Brook and that substation that comes as far as Indian Head with their grounding station. This was a great opportunity for us to help Emira, Nova Scotia, but also it's a reciprocating agreement that they're actually going to help us with costing on equipment, and there'll be an annualized grant coming to our town. So it's great when staff and management understands that whenever we provide a service, that cost recovery and the costs even to administer takes money. So I will commend the team for executing this.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's all on our agenda.
That's it. Nothing late.
Nothing late.
You're keeping the budget pretty tight there, Councilor White. That's good.
I'm looking forward to more of that.
Yeah, I just want to say, because we do have low attendees tonight, we have 7 attendees, but
I didn't
just,
think, I
pardon?
didn't think we were online.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to say too that this year, it's a bit of an austerity move for us in the next quarter of this year and maybe into the third quarter, depending on revenues that are anticipated to arrive in the town of Stephenville. But we made a conscientious decision not to raise taxes this year and to show a deficit over the next 3 years, because with inflation, with interest rates, a lot of people are hurting, and the price of fuel, the price of groceries. I think it was a very, very conscientious decision of this council to take the measures that we have taken. The easy thing for us would have been done is to raise taxes and not run a deficit. Took a little bit of work on behalf of our staff, but it was the right decisions. But as we roll out and complete this year, we anticipate to be in really good financial shape. So I just wanted to say that, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn it over to planning and traffic 5.2, Councilor Laura Ilwood.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This evening we have, I'm reporting the planning committee items that I had from a meeting that we held on May 1st. And this was all recommended by the committee. So the first item is 123 West Street, requesting approval for outline planning permission to subdivide land located at 123 West Street for the purpose of selling the lower portion to an adjacent business. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Ilwood, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you for joining, Councilor Tristan Newland. We did get your eye on that vote.
No worries. Sorry for the delay.
Got you.
Yes, that's right. Next item, 16-26 Prince Rupert Drive, Eddy Services, requesting outline planning permission to purchase and consolidate a vacant lot at the lower portion of 123 West Street with 16-26 Prince Rupert Drive to expand current vehicle storage lot and erect a fence and grade the lot with Class A material. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Ilwood, seconder. Second, Councilor Lenny Keller. Just one thing I'd like to say, Eddy Services is one of the landmark companies that existed here in Stephenville. And I can remember being a young boy when the taxi stand was right where the Rotary Town clock was, roughly about there.
That's right.
You know? And they did a lot of business in the early days when it was a U.S. Air Force base, because the Americans would be coming off of the base and the taxi stand was right there.
Yeah.
And if they left the Red Rose, you know, rather than heading up to the Hilton Manor, which is called the Manor now, but was nicknamed the Hilton Manor, the air base, that, you know, if they had a good time at the Red Rose, getting a taxi from Eddy's even to the Hilton Manor was important. So a lot of history with this company.
And the price of a taxi from our work, which is right over here,
Yeah,
building across the street where I worked, was 50 cents.
50 cents. See, bit of nostalgia.
Yeah,
Everything old is new. Maybe it'll go back like that someday again.
yeah. Did we vote on that?
Okay, did we get all in favor?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carried.
Next item, C141 Carolina Avenue, Boyden Bungie, requesting approval to issue a permit to construct 24 by 80-foot extension to an existing building located at 141 Carolina Avenue, subject to service NL approval. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Ilwood, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Carried.
Next item D is 4 Empire Avenue, requesting approval to issue a permit to construct 4 by 8 porch over basement door on the rear of property located at 4 Empire Avenue. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Ilwood, seconder. Second, Councilor Lenny Tiller, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Number E is the last item that I have, designated area for overnight camping. Requesting approval that the use of camping tents, trailers, and recreational vehicles for overnight camping will not be permitted in the town of Stephenville boundaries except in designated areas. The designated areas includes Kin Court until August 15th, 2023, designated campground, or as a temporary activity on a residential property. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Ilwood, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. Question, I'll just turn it over to you, Laura. I'd just like to speak a little bit on this because it is a very, very important file that we've been wrestling with in the town of Stephenville. And so I'll let you chair while I speak on it before we call the motion, call the vote. So in the past few years, we've had increased activity of camping on the beach area. And we've had a lot of complaints. But by not allowing those campers on that beach, we get a lot of complaints from the people that were utilizing it. So there's both sides of the equation. But at the end of the day, on a beach area, people camping, whether it's a tent or a camper, it was becoming a little bit more permanency and more established as if you were there for 3, 4, 5 months. And structures, wood piles, tarps, and so the aesthetics was starting to be a concern of this council because we heard the concerns from the residents. And it's very difficult to keep everybody happy. But I think what we have done here as a council and management is we may have found a happy medium that under the Lands Act of 1999 or 1990, I can't remember my date. I'm thinking when Clyde Wells was the premier.
1989, they formed a government.
Yeah, it might have been 1990, the Lands Act. Gives access to people from high water mark. That access is more for pedestrian, not for a camper to go set up on a beach to maybe restrict somebody from walking on the beach. And I think that's more pedestrian. That could take a legal opinion but the legislation is there. But at the end of the day, having King Court, which is adjacent to the beach, we will, through our public works, clean up that site, put additional bins there for trash, because even though it's not heavily utilized by campers now, the trash seems to be getting more increasing there because a lot of youth may be down there with their cars and dumping out their Tim Hortons or their McDonald's or their bologna sandwiches, whatever. But as a town, keeping our town clean, creating a little bit of order, but I agree with allowing these campers a spot because those campers create some economic activity for our town. They come here, they shop, they buy pizzas, they go to Walmart, whatever. They go downtown shopping on our main street businesses or Prince Rupert. And that's very important. But for people to be camped close to the beach, not everybody, like, I'm not a beach person. I'm more of a landlubber. I'm a farmer. I like the wilderness and I like the lakes and the ponds. But some people love the ocean. And some people love the roar of the waves and the crashing of the waves. And I think that turn was getting a little congested, a little out of order from an aesthetics perspective. But I think because the town is going to provide an adequate space with some additional services that we provide anyways, just enhancing those services, it's a good measure and it's a good happy medium to keep those campers access to the beach, not in the same spot, but not very far away. And I think once they see the services that we'll provide in the order, that we'll take care of it and clean up that area, everybody should be happy. So on that note, that's all I wanted to have to say. Question?
No, take the gavel back.
Pardon? I'll take the gavel back
Okay.
now. So, any question, any thoughts from anybody?
Say something you're probably not used to hearing. I agree with pretty much everything you just said.
Oh my God.
Over the weekend, there was a lot of phone calls, a lot of, why is the sign there? Why is there no solution? And I said, I'm not really sure, but we're working on something. Is this a perfect solution? No, unfortunately, there is no perfect solution, and this is the best one we could come to as a collective. I applaud staff for working so hard on that, and applaud you folks for sticking with it and making sure there was a solution, because it would have been just as easy to put up the signs and say no more.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate all the work that was done.
If I can add, Mr. Mayor, the issue that we have around Stephenville right now, we have vehicles and campers parking at different spots throughout the town. And the problem is, without having a blanket, you can't park unless we allow you to park, then we have no control.
Right.
So by doing this, we have some control. And then, of course, in the future, council at its discretion can, of course, allow other areas to be able to park you know, but this allows us to be able to have some control over those areas, especially those areas that are downtown core where people shouldn't be parking, but are.
And what I like about this too is, you know, I don't want to see too much regulation pushed. We got too much regulation as it is now in this province. But this still allows some freedoms for people. And it doesn't force somebody that you can only go into a paid area. And I think as we're a very low population and a very big piece of island in Canada, that's actually bigger than Germany in landmass. And allowing this opportunity through management, and I do know staff shortages and stuff like that, but the quicker we can get that King Court cleaned up, swept up, some lines painted for some order of camping, allowing people to leave their camper and go right on the beach there, the happier those campers would be. And what we should end up doing is having a communique done up from the CAO and go give to them to say, here's the new area, and just try to work with them. Yeah. And are we going to keep everybody happy? No, but I think that this is a good position, like Councillor Tiller just said, and it's a happy medium for everybody.
And it's it's no wonder people want to go there.
beautiful.
You know, you look out towards the ocean, you turn around and you're looking at all mountains. So who wouldn't want to be on the beach?
Yeah.
I would be down there if I had a trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that
Yes,
note,
that's,
all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
motion carried.
That's all for planning unless something came late.
No, that's it.
No.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Laura Elwer, for that. Great job.
Welcome. That's it.
Yeah, I just want to say to talking about the weather, and I open up saying another beautiful day, and then you listen to the CBC or the NTV News and the weather forecasters and talking about, my God, the weather. But if they were only talking about Stephenville's weather, and I will say this, you know, that just think now. If Stephenville, Newfoundland was the capital of Newfoundland instead of St. John's,
Should have been.
what it should have been. Because in a lot of provinces, it doesn't have to be the biggest city. Toronto's not the capital of Ontario, it's Ottawa. But just think, what are the benefits? Well, being from Stephenville, I can tell you plenty. So let me start with a couple. We have the best weather of any airport town east of Montreal. That's a big statement. And if you're living here, we have to stay out in the sun a lot, hasn't it? And as you know, when all the icebergs and the ice and the northeasters wind, we know the weather that's happening on the East Coast. Secondly, we're closer to Canada, a lot closer. Thirdly, we have probably the best core infrastructure of any town in the country. We have an international airport, international seaport connected. The closest to us is Seattle, Washington. We have one of the best soil structures in the province to grow and expand from a civil perspective. We're very close to Port aux Basques, which is our link to the mainland. So like there's so many benefits, but can you imagine if all of Canada in the last 1949, okay, 51, 71, in the last 74 years when we joined Canada, if every day the weather forecasters across Canada were saying, given Stephenville's weather as the capital of Newfoundland, you know what that would do for tourism? Just saying.
Well,
Like out there, but I had to open up.
Well, you know, when you look at the forecast now as it comes up on the screen, and you look at poor St. John's and CBS.
Oh.
Now, my daughter's in CBS and they're not as bad, but St. John's is absolutely pitiful. I'm not one to get depressed, but I would be depressed if I was living in there. But the other thing is, way back when, and I won't say which politician it was, but I do know who it was, just in case I might be wrong. He did say the West Coast should have been the capital of the province.
Now,
He did say it. He was
Smart politician.
He was young, and it wasn't my son Kevin, but it was a young politician that said that. And you know, preaching at this table for several, probably 2 or 3 years now, saying that we want and we need a proper highway between Port aux Basques and St. John's.
Well, they just, did you?
But they just announced paving for
Yes.
Port aux Basques.
But
But I want to see the double lanes. I want to see
Just hear the announcement that they're putting the
Yeah.
double lane from Bishop Falls to
Yeah.
Grand Falls.
heard that.
And maybe the next step should be Port aux Basques to Stephenville.
The proper thing, because like I said, you know, that's the main, that's where everybody comes from.
From an engineering perspective, one of the challenges we have on the West Coast too, is we have so many major rivers. And it becomes costly because of crossing rivers. Because I think we have like, within an hour and a half, we have 9 salmon rivers, you know, not all across the TCH. But when you're making a highway where there's no big rivers, it's always cheaper. But I think our next lobby provincially should be Port aux Basques to Stephenville.
There's no doubt, but if Joey Smallwood could put a highway up to St. Anthony and nobody said he'd ever do it.
Yeah.
Surely in this century, we can put we can put a safe highway between here and St. John's.
Agree with you 100%.
You know, and it's time that we got on the bandwagon, and the letter never did get written to the premier about it. But remember Councillor Tobin saying to me, we can't even get Route 465. Oh my God.
I remember those days.
Too funny. Yeah.
So one quick question, we don't have any bylaws or regulations, and this would be a question for the CAO. Colin, so we just came with a new policy. Would that be formulated into a bylaw?
Of course.
Yes,
So
right.
we'll add the other things and then
And then it'll come back.
there has to be
to
an
bylaw.
enforcement framework.
Okay,
What happens if someone doesn't do it?
yeah, okay, sounds good. Any unfinished business? Okay, any new business?
I have one, and I want to keep this on. The past weekend, there was the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, saying that right? Hockey tournament, no,
It was the military.
So Royal Newfoundland Regiment, I'm gonna get this right eventually. I've got it wrong all week talking to Rob about it. The Stephenville Spartans, it was their first time going, 0 expectations. Boys won West Coast Senior, high school hockey this year. They went in with 0 expectations, pulled out 3 overtime victories, went to the semifinal, lost 4-2, but what a performance. Out of that, and I don't know the young fella's name, but Rob Beliveau and Carla Beliveau, their son was
Noah.
#1 ranked goalie in one of them. What is it?
Noah Beliveau.
Noah Beliveau was the #1 ranked goalie for the tournament, and actually had an officer come in the dressing room and present him with the trophy.
No way.
Yeah,
How
so
nice.
I'd like to congratulate the boys on that. And I believe that was the first tournament ever where they also had a female participant on one of the high school teams. Yeah.
That's good. I got a couple of ones. First of all, I'd like to congratulate our fire chief, firefighters, and our auxiliary. Today is the National Day of Firefighters in Canada. And you can't say enough about them. It's like anybody putting on a uniform, from the military to the RCMP, to the Royal Newfoundland Regiment, to our firefighters. When you gotta go in and put your life on the line to save somebody else's life, that's courage. And they're to be commended. Their professionalism. We're very fortunate in this town to have a full-time fire department. Most municipalities of this size don't. But this council and previous councils seen the need of having full-time fire department. And at the end of the day, when it comes to fires in a home, and there's not as many as there used to be, we respond probably more to motor vehicle accidents with jaws of life and support and that perspective. But seconds count. Seconds count, not minutes. And when they get to a fire and breach that home and save a life, it's hard to put a financial number on it. But it's part of our budget line item. And it'll probably continue forever, as especially now our town's gonna grow. But there was times that there was previous counselors that probably wanted to somehow go full volunteer. I'm not one of them. But I'm glad we're here, and today we can recognize the professional fire department that we have. So the other thing I got is, we got a call this week, and I gotta give accolades to Councilor Laura Elbert on her tenacity, her drive, her unforgiving relentlessness around ensuring that we have proper healthcare service. And we have done a lot of lobbying about the Bay St. George Medical Clinic. They've done a beautiful job doing outside work. I think they're even doing some inside work now, but at the end of the day, the building may be used for something else, but it's not conducive for a medical clinic with an aging population. People going to a medical clinic tends to be a little sick. That's the reason why they go there. And, but the accessibility issue with that building, it's not acceptable. And we pushed and worked with Western Health, which is no longer in existence, but it's now the provincial health authority. We've done some great meetings with Minister Osborne and his team, lobbying. And I got word on Monday from Tara Freak, who's the new VP of
CAO.
CAO.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember her title, so I don't want to say it, so you probably know better. But actually, the tender is out now for a new collaborative care clinic in Stephenville. So
Wow.
that's really, really, really.
That is good. Yeah.
And it just shows that this town is growing. It's got attention from government to realize that where the rubber hits the ground is at our level, municipal level. We're growing, but we need help from the provincial and federal government to help get our town ready as we take in world energy and an aerospace deal that's going to happen here in the town and grow the town. We can't do it alone without provincial or federal help. We've had good meetings in Ottawa with the feds. I think it'll be soon time calling that maybe sometime in June where we should set up a meeting with the Economic Policy Committee of Cabinet to go into St. John's and meet with them and just talk about what's happening in Stephenville. And I know they hear about it, but they need to hear it from us. And with that, you always got to have an ask, right?
Oh, yes.
So we're going to formulate council's wishes, management's wishes, to see what we can get in current budgets and forecasted budgets of all levels of government to help this town.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree, 100%.
Anything else?
See. Me think. Our hospital foundation is going well. We're doing well. We're doing, our online auctions is ongoing, and
That's good.
we have someone in the office, like I think I said before, every Thursday from 1 to 3. So, and we have a website, of course. So that's all going forward. We have a meeting coming up now. The third Monday of the month, whatever is that's on, probably the 20th or something. Third Monday of every month, and we're going to be looking for I'm going to be looking to the board members for a new computer. Because the one we got is ancient, goes back with 20 years, I'd say, when the computers came out. So I don't know if we can get any businesses around town that might be able to chip in and help us out. This is going to be at least, I would say, about $1,000 to get a half decent computer.
Maybe able to look at some of the local companies,
Yeah.
A couple of things that I want to mention. I believe today was a transition day or yesterday for our new website. Yesterday? Today. So hopefully that transition will go well. I think it's also worked on a new app. Is up and running.
Yes.
So I actually haven't had a chance, so when I go home, I'll take a look at it. But good work. It's going to help with our communication strategy. Could you maybe just give us an update on the app?
It's up now. The app, unfortunately, there is a glitch on the Android app, and which is directly related to the Google Play Store, which would normally place these, from what I understand. Anyone with an Apple phone can immediately upload the app. Councilor Taylor, I think you already
Yes.
uploaded.
Probably the first one.
Yeah, good. And then we'll be
My-
hoping, yeah, yours will work, yeah.
Yours should work, yeah.
So the hope is in the next 6 weeks to 2 months, maybe a month, depending on when it gets sorted out, those with Android phones like Samsungs or Motorola's.
I got an iPhone, does that count?
You
Yeah,
can do
that's it.
it now.
Okay, I'll have to get that done.
I will ask, sorry, I didn't mean.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Does it have push notification? So if there's a water outage or a council meeting coming up, will it just come up as a notification on the phone?
That's the intention, yeah. But we'll have to work out the bugs.
Yes.
So my goal will be to, that we would have a scanner code in around the community. Post it, also Colin, so that anybody visiting our town could take their smartphone, scan the barcode and get the app. Is that how that will work?
Yeah, we'll work on that and develop.
So we gotta work on that. So that's really gonna help with our communication. I got to commend management for tackling this file. Because there's about 1,000 files.
Especially our economic development.
Mike
manager,
Rabbit did on this.
He did a lot of work on this.
Yeah, so good work. The other thing I just want to say before we close out is that, and as the mayor and spokesperson of this council, like probably all other councils in this province, you're gonna have some people coming out hard hitting on us. The only thing I will say is to council is that, remember, we represent 6,700 people in Stephenville. Our decisions that we make is for the best interest of the majority. Although we listen to everybody, remember our core responsibility to citizens of Stephenville. It's not citizens of our neighboring communities. But for those who don't like the leadership of this council, they got the easiest solution in the world for them. Is wait 2 years, put your name on the ballot, and try to get elected. That's all they got to do.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And, we got to be focused on moving the town forward. We're not doomsday surfers, looking at all the negativity. So let's just focus on what we're doing. Let's not let the naysayers throw us off too much, although we have to listen to it all. But remember, our responsibility to the citizens of this town core. On that note, I would call for adjournment. Or do you want another question?
On what you're saying there is, what really bugs me about those people that get on there and they go on a rant. And a lot of what they're ranting about is not correct. And I would really encourage people out there, if they have a problem with something that's going on and they want to find out the answers, make the call to somebody that knows the answers.
Yeah.
And if they don't know the answers, they will try and get them.
Right.
And in all my careers that I've worked, and as you know, I worked as a member of parliament for a long time. I was there for 12 years. And if you don't get anywhere by crapping on people, talking about their personalities, talking about whatever, John Doe, he didn't do this or he didn't do that. And it affects us and all these people that are out there. Some of them I know, and I think they should have better sense, to tell you the truth. So to me, rather than grumble about something, sit down and form some kind of a committee that you're going to help the community, not be negative about it. I'm looking for people to come on the healthcare committee.
Yeah.
You can't get anybody.
Guardian Angels,
You know?
Committee.
We
have a lot of good citizens that go around
No.
town picking up litter, doing some very positive things.
it's no good, Mr. Mayor, for you and I or 4 or 5 of our buddies to go and sit in Tim Hortons and say, boys, something going on around here, that garbage hadn't picked up for 2 weeks, I don't know what's wrong with that council in there. So, that kind of a thing. So why complain among your buddies? Get out and do something about it. If you don't like the garbage there, go pick it up yourself. But you know, to me, it's all the years I've been here and I've seen a lot of things and heard a lot of things. But I've never seen as much hateful talk on Facebook. And I'm not on this,
We must be doing something good.
you know,
Because if we weren't doing anything, you're not even talking about us.
you know, I'm not on this TikTok and LinkedIn and God knows what. I'm not on that stuff. I'm only on Facebook. And I don't, you know, and I don't see a lot of stuff. So all I can say to these people is like, you know, get a hobby of something different, right? And help somebody.
You
Yeah,
want,
get out and do something more positive.
Yeah.
They'll feel better with their life, but
That's right.
all we can do is, like I say, at the end of the day, if they want to make change, put the name on the ballot.
and lead, always lead by example.
Yes, exactly.
I always used, well, the best advice I was ever given was in Fort Mac actually, and it's don't attack anybody's personality. You have a conversation based on fact, and if the fact is on your side, it's okay. And that's what I'll take a phone call and someone's crapping on me and I'll say, well, you say your piece and then I'll tell you the facts as I see it, and we'll come to a consensus on what that is. Because the best friend you got is the facts. You're gonna like people, you're not gonna like people, and at the end of the day, if we were all the same, the world would be a pretty dull place. But we can't attack people because we don't like them or we don't feel the same way.
No.
Use the facts, and if you want, like,
That's
want to
right.
talk to me, you got a problem with me, my number's on that website, you call me.
So on that note, Councillor Tristan, anything before I close out the meeting?
Nope, it was a good meeting and I agree with what everybody said, you know, we try our best to support all the members of the community, but unfortunately, like anything, you can't get them all. I mean, the best interest is at heart for everyone. And at the end of the day, if people don't agree with what council or whatever is doing, then I'm sure at some point in time, all of us were in the same boat where we seen an opportunity to change something and we ran. So I just implore people to stay positive and keep in mind that we're just trying to do what's best for the town and our area.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're only human too. Do we always get it right 100%? No.
No,
We
absolutely not.
We make standard of mistake, but we try our best. So on that note, I would ask a member of council that we adjourn this meeting.
Don't move.
Moved by Councilor Lenny Taylor, second. Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank everybody for attending.